Welcome to the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon Series. I am your host, Captain Matt, and today we're talking 7 affordable tri-toons that are under $50,000 or around $350 or less a month. So, of course, we're brought to you by the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon Toolkit. You can grab yours at boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/toolkit. You can get that for free. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the best affordable pontoons. We're going to look at tri-toons with the 150 that are under $50,000. Let's look at the Harris line. To get under the 50,000 mark for a pontoon or a tri-toon, we're going to go to their entry-level model. This is their value line, the Cruiser. If you've watched the Harris review video, you'll see that they do things a little bit different in the Cruiser model. And because I'm going to go with the most likely boat that people are looking at, I'm going to look at a 23-foot Cruiser. So we're going to go ahead and build the Cruiser, and we're just going to go through the entire process and get a boat that's right under $50,000 so you can see what kind of options are going to be available to you. So the color isn't going to make a big impact unless you're adding an accessory color or a accent color, I guess is the right term for it. And those are about $500. Because we're looking at value, we're going to go ahead and remove that and just do a nice single color option. I think they look great with the single colors. From there, it's going to have the option for the layout. Now, with the Harris Cruiser line, you've got the traditional L shape, which you can see right here. The center walkthrough, which I really like that layout. It's nice and open. The single rear lounger is great if you're going to be out at anchor. The kids are swimming off the back. It really is open on the back end. They also have the center walkthrough and the single lounger with the captain's chairs. And I'll tell you that captain's chair layout, I think, is the best. I really like it if you're going to be out with just you and your spouse. It puts the captain in the conversation. If you're just cruising, you have two people sitting next to each other, and it's a really nice layout. It also kind of opens it up a little bit without losing too much seating. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the center walkthrough with the captain's chairs. That does have a $1,600 upgrade charge. Now remember, this is retail price. You'll be able to negotiate a little bit, and you want to check that magic money saving method that we have to get there. Now the bimini top, they do a nice bimini top on these. So we are not going to upgrade there. Again, we are building this to be a value boat. We're not going to add everything in it. However, we are going to add a few options that I think are important to have. So that are going to be about performance. So right now in step 4, we're choosing the performance package. So on the performance package, we are going to go ahead and do the performance package 1. The standard is the two tubes, full keel, 25-inch diameter tubes. That's a great thing if you're not super concerned about speed. That's going to get you there. The enhanced standard is going to put you on 27-inch diameter tube. And remember, every time you increase the diameter of that tune, it's going to add flotation. It's going to get you higher on the water, and it's going to give you a little bit better performance. But we're going to add that performance level 1. It's going to be a standard 25-inch diameter center tune, and it's going to be a partial tune, or what I call a sport tune. It's going to give you just enough to give you better flotation, better handling, better speed, more structural support, and it comes with the reinforced nose cone, the partial underskin, and the lifting strakes. And I really like that. It allows us to go up to a 200 horsepower motor. Now you can go up to the performance package 2. That's going to give you a full length third tune, and the performance package 3.5 is going to give you a 27-inch diameter. You can see that takes you up to almost $7,000, and so we are going to leave that just as the third pontoon. I've run this boat, and it's a great option. Now if you're in saltwater, you're going to want to add the saltwater package. We are not going to do that right here, and we've already added the lifting strakes because of that Performance Package 1. The lifting strakes is going to give us better speed out of the same horsepower motor. Okay, so now we're going to go to the engine. This is a big one. With that setup with the third pontoon, we're going to go with a Mercury 150 4-stroke. It's a $21,000 engine. If we're upgrading to the third pontoon, I think the 150 is the most practical engine for your value conscious that still want to have enough speed to do everything that they want to do. Now, if you don't need, high 30-mile-an-hour speeds, if you're not doing water sports, if you don't care about speed, then feel free to go down to a 90, maybe a 115. If you really don't care about speed, that 60 command thrust is a fine engine, but on a 23-foot boat, it's not going to give you much speed at all. But we're going to go with the 150, and now we've got some trim level options. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you, that there are some very cool options with lighting packages and things that you can add that aren't really going to add much to the enjoyment of the boat, but they just add cost. Okay, so this is going to be a nice quality boat. They do have a trim package that we're going to skip through all of those. I'm not a big lighting guy. I don't like lights on pontoons other than the navigation and the anchor light. That's just me. But what I do like are the basic vinyls, the basic flooring. I do like the gray vinyl in the rear. I think having that rear section vinyled in is it makes the boat easier to clean up. That's where people can drip off, and I do like that. Now, a couple of things that I will add is the battery disconnect switch. I think it's important to have that. The two fenders, you're going to need fenders, and they do a nice job with the fender setup. If you're a trailer boater and you're not going to use the fenders, then not a big deal. And their quick release fenders are really nice. If you are somebody like my dad and my mother-in-law, getting on and off the boat can be difficult. Upgrading that ladder, it can be a great option to make the boat more functional and more user-friendly, okay? From there, we're going to scroll through. Not a lot that I would add here that's going to add on a value pontoon. Remember, that's the focus that we're doing. Upgrading the steering wheel. None of this is important except for the depth finder. On most lakes, most waterways, I'm going to encourage a depth finder. It just really makes sense to know what the type of water that you're in. The fishing pontoon, if you're interested in fishing, I would encourage you to look at that fishing option. And then the setup of the boat, if you want to upgrade those helm seats, you can certainly do that. It is not necessary. And the sound system is, I believe this boat has a nice sound system, but you can upgrade if you would like to the upgraded options. And then the tow bar, we're putting a 150 TriToon. We're probably going to do some water sports, and that tow bar will be valuable. Now, as we go to the next, it's actually going to make us put in the information, which is going to generate Harris an opportunity to communicate with you and set you up with the dealer. But you can see with that option, we've actually built a $49,156,000 TriToon with the 150. The motor was $21,000 of that. The boat itself was $22,000, I think, is where we started out, and we just added the few options, specifically that partial third tune. And I think this is going to be a great boat for under $50,000. You're going to be able to negotiate this price down, and you're probably going to be in the mid $50,000 range or so. I would need to do some more specific digging to see exactly where that's going to come up with. And we also upgraded the floor plan. So you can easily get this 23-foot cruiser under $50,000, which is going to put your payment with 10% down around $350 a month or so. So let's take a look at the next option. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Bennington, and we're going to find something that's going to put us in the under $50,000 category. So we're going to take a look at the S series. Just like Harris, they have their value model and they have their luxury models, and in between, we are going to take a look at the S series because that's going to give us, we're going to look at a 23-foot boat, and that's going to give us the best bang for our buck. Okay, just like on the Harris, we're going to choose the center walkthrough with the 2 captain's chairs. And that's going to give us a base price of around $33,000. Now, because we're building a value pontoon, we're going to go ahead and select a single color that's not going to have an upgrade and no exterior package upgrades. We're trying to keep the price down, so we're going to keep everything pretty basic here. Again, it's going to come with the standard bimini top. We're going to leave that as the option. We're not going to upgrade there. There's an aft deck option. Again, we're keeping that value down, or the price down. But if you do want to, if you have some hard times getting on and off the boat, getting this extended aft deck with the curved ladder, it can make it a little bit easier getting on and off the boat, and it also extends your swim platform on that back side. But it's $1,000 option, so we're going to leave that off, but it is something to consider. And the ladders, this is the one, upgrading the ladders on a pontoon I think is really key, because it's going to keep you, it's going to maximize your enjoyment if you have somebody that is not real comfortable getting on and off the boat. Okay, so from there, we're going to move over to the interior. And again, they've got a nice basic interior. We're going to leave it there. We're not going to upgrade any textures, any added stitching or anything like that. The cup holders, you can get those portable cup holders pretty inexpensively. But again, it comes with a nice standard package. At the tables, most people don't use their tables. If you entertain a lot, you can upgrade the tables. The stereo, again, just like with the other boats we've looked at, the base stereo is suitable. If you really enjoy the stereo, you can upgrade some of those as well. Now, we're not doing any fishing, so we're going to leave that alone. On the flooring, that woven vinyl is a durable, it looks nice. There's no reason to upgrade that. And then we're going to go to the engine. This is the biggest choice. With Bennington, you have an option for the Yamaha, Honda, Mercury, Suzuki, Torqeedo, and Minn Kota. Here's my recommendation. Select the one that your dealer is going to recommend. So if they say, hey, we've got Yamaha certified technicians, we recommend the Yamaha. If they recommend Suzuki, you're going to save a little bit of money if they have good Suzuki mechanics. If they don't have factory trained Suzuki mechanics, then go with where their best technicians are, whether it's Yamaha, Honda, Mercury, or Suzuki. If you haven't watched my outboard power video, Suzuki has a very strong product. What they don't have is a large dealer network of factory certified technicians. Okay, so we're going to do the Yamaha because I know Yamaha has some of the best coverage all across the country, but choose the one in your local market area that's going to make the most sense. Now, the performance package, because we're going to ultimately get this to be a TriToon with a 150, because of the performance, we're going to choose that similar type of TriToon. So we're going to do the Sport Performance package. Actually, no. We're going to do the Xpress Performance package, and that is going to be the third tune that's a partial tune. That's the comparable to what we selected on the Harris, where it's basically a 3/4 middle tune. It gives you a lot of the benefits, but without all of the cost as the full pontoon, which is going to be about $6,000. Now, on the horsepower, we're going to choose the 150 SHO and that has an upgrade of $8,822. So unlike Harris, where they showed the full price of the motor, which was about $21, they've already included some of the motor in this price, and so now we're just at $49,577 with that 150. So as you go in, again, the battery switch is something that I really find is important. It's automatically adding the hydraulic assist steering, the underdeck shield, so that aluminum underskinning, the lifting strakes are included. If you're in saltwater, you'll want to get the sealed lifting strakes. That's going to be important in saltwater. And then, let's see here. Now it's going to take it to some other options. Again, we're trying to keep this value or the price down. So the only thing that we're going to make sure we have is the ski tow bar and the depth finder, which may be, the depth finder may be standard on this model for Harris. I'm not 100% sure, but based on what I'm seeing, I'm guessing it is. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and submit for the quote. And you can see we're at $50,562 with this Bennington. So almost in that same ballpark, right at $50,000. When you negotiate down, you're going to be somewhere in the low to mid 50s, mid 40s, and that's going to put you right at about $350 a month. Again, another really nice TriToon with the 150. It's going to do everything you're going to want to do performance-wise. A 23-foot boat's going to give you a lot of room, and it's a great option. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one that we have. Now we're going to take a look at the Godfrey pontoons. Godfrey pontoons have several brands, and they roll up under the Godfrey name. So we're going to go ahead into the Build a Boat here on Godfrey, and we're going to select the Sweetwater. The Sweetwater is sort of their value model. And with the Sweetwater, we are going to choose, as they all load up here, we're going to choose, again, the 22 or 23 foot boat. So we are going to choose that center walkthrough, just like we have on all of the others, in a 22 or 23 foot boat. And that is going to put us right here with the SW 2286 SBX. And that's the boat that we're going to build. See, we start with the base price of $28,841 on a 2021 22 foot Sweetwater. Again, because we're building value, we're going to keep everything a single color, and we're going to start choosing our package, and we are going to choose the base options that are going to build a nice quality boat, but it's going to keep the price at the right level. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the interior, and we're going to choose a Yamaha to pre-rig it. Again, remember, go based on the manufacturer or your dealer's recommendation on what engine manufacturer to go with, based on where their most experienced technicians are. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and choose the black canvas, and this is just choosing color, so nothing really big there. And now we're going to choose the engine. So we chose the Yamaha. So now we're going to take the Yamaha, and we're going to go with the 150 Yamaha. Where is that? There we go. The 150 Yamaha, and we are going to choose the LA 2.8 liter. Okay, so that's going to be the option that we choose. And actually, I take that back. We're going to choose the digital because I do like the digital throttle on this one. That's going to put us at a, there we go. We didn't choose that third pontoon. That's going to give us that third pontoon, and it's the sport tube, adding a third 27-inch sport tube with lifting strakes, standard motor pan, fuel tank, and heavy duty channels. And we also are going to add the ski tow bar, which is one that I missed earlier. The interior, there's nothing that we're going to put there at a $38,696 MSRP. Now, something about this doesn't feel right. I'm not sure if something didn't total up properly, but that seems much lower than what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be in the high 40s, but if this information is right, they've just uploaded their 2021 pricing, so there may be something that is a little bit off here. But the Sweetwater, this 2286 SBX, is going to put you well under that 50,000 mark, under the $350 per month, probably closer to $300, and still give you a nice pontoon that is going to perform and do everything that you want to do. Now, just like with everything, you get what you pay for, and you'll notice that the price is less than what the Bennington and the Harris entry-level model is. What that means is that some of the material, some of the way they do things are not to the same quality level, high grade, durable material. There's going to be some things that you're going to see that if you compared them side by side, that they're going to be noticeable that the Godfrey Sweetwater pontoon is not to the same build level as the Harris and the Bennington. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be a great pontoon that, if well taken care of, is going to do exactly what you need and give you years and years of boating fun. So here we are on the South Bay pontoon. Again, we're going to go into the 22-foot length, and we're going to choose that center walkthrough with the dual captain's chairs. I think that's a great option, and we're going to go ahead and build this boat here on South Bay. Just like everyone that we've done so far, we're going to keep the options to a minimum because we're going to a value pontoon, and we're starting with the base of $25,391. We're going to move up to the performance package, which is going to give us the ski tow bar, and it's also going to give us the third pontoon, I believe. So the packages, again, if you're in saltwater, make sure you're upgrading that saltwater is going to add the anodes, and you want to ask and make sure that they're doing everything else they need to for the saltwater. Because we've chose Yamaha on everything else, we're going to continue with the Yamaha. The bimini top and the mooring cover are included, so we're not upgrading there, and we're going to stick with that Yamaha 150 with, I guess we just have the mechanical controls here. Yamaha rigging, and we are going to go with the, I think that's going to be a pretty comparable boat. So again, now we've got a 22-foot TriToon with the 150 with South Bay, and we're at $50,518 on the MSRP. That's going to give us a mid 50 or so price out the door, plus taxes and all of the other stuff that have to be included. But another under $50,000 pontoon by South Bay. I'll tell you that my family has a South Bay. It's a great boat. It is a 2015 22 foot with the 150. I've water skied behind it at 225 pounds with about 5 people on the boat and a full cooler. It is a very functional boat, and it's something that will give you years and years of fun. Okay, now we've moved over to Crest. We're going to take a look at the Crest LX. That's going to be their value line. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. You start with the base price of $22,984, and we are going to select, again, that center walkthrough with the 2 captain's chairs, and here it is, the 22 SLC. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. That puts us at a base price of $26,553, where you're going to select a single color, keeping that investment down. We've got the bimini top standard, the mooring cover standard, the upholstery we're going to leave with the base upholstery. The furniture options we're gonna leave that with the base setup, and we're gonna scroll through the next step. We're gonna stick with the base flooring option, and then we're gonna choose that standard performance package, which is going to give us the third pontoon. and it's going to be the 25-inch tubes, aluminum underskin, lifting strakes, hydraulic steering, 48-gallon fuel tank, and the ski tow bar, the Beast ski tow bar, and that is the option that we're going to choose, along with pre-rigging for the Yamaha motor package. And then with the Yamaha, we are going to choose the 150 and the dual battery switch. Again, these are practical things that are going to lead to a better enjoyment of the pontoon. Again, if you are looking in running your boat in saltwater, that saltwater protection is a good upgrade. We are going to upgrade the depth finder, and you can see we've just gotten over the $54,772 price range. So that has bumped us up a little bit. But when you look at negotiations, that classic LX 22 SLC is going to put you right at about $50,000 into the high $40,000, which with a nice performing pontoon or TriToon with the 150 that is going to get you going and do exactly what you want to do. So that puts you just on the MSRP just over the 50,000 range, but when you negotiate and you get the discounts, it's going to put you right under $50,000. So let's take a look at the last one here. In the mix of the value models, we've got to take a look at the Sun Tracker, the 22 Party Barge XP3. XP3 indicates their triple pontoon, and this one is set up with the center walkthrough. You don't have that dual captain's chairs. You've got the long bench, gives you a lot of seating, but that's the one difference here. Starting at $34,995 with the 115 Mercury 4-stroke, moving up to the 150, you move up to $37,395. And finally, the Mercury 200 4-stroke, you're moving up to $41,145. So you can see you're significantly less than the other boats that we've looked at. What that tells you is that the quality of construction, the material used is not up to the same levels as you get with some of the other boats. Now, on the other hand, they do have the scale because of the size of their operation, the number of boats they build, the number of Mercury engines that they buy from Brunswick. Their distribution channel is different than most through Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, and the Tracker Marine dealerships. So they do have some, the way their business is built, they're able to price a little bit better and work on some lower margins. But still, comparing boat to boat, it's not quite to the same levels as all of the other boats that we looked at. Watch my Sun Tracker review, because I do think it's a great boat for certain people. Just understand that, know what you're buying when you buy it. And if you're a first-time boater, make sure that you get the support that you need so that you can get out on the water and be safe and have it be an enjoyable experience the first time out. That doesn't always come when you buy from some of the big box stores. They don't put that same personal level of attention into every consumer. But this is definitely fits that value category, under $50,000 to get a TriToon with the 150, and it's worth taking a look at if the dollar amount is important to you, and getting that warranty and that brand new boat is important to you. So now the final way to get your TriToon with the 150 that's under $50,000 is to go on the pre-owned market. They can be very difficult to find because, one, these boats are very popular, and people that buy them tend to keep them for a long time. Number two is there's not many that have been built over the past 5 to 7 years when they've really gotten the construction down of the TriToon with the higher horsepowers. And so the number of units that are on the market are minimal, and the popularity, the demand for these TriToons with the 150 and bigger horsepower, it can make them very hard to find. When they do come on the market, they tend to go quickly. But you can see this one here that's up in Norfolk, Virginia, is a TriToon. But another way to get that $50,000 boat or under, and get some of the other options, like you saw the in-floor ski locker, the upgraded helm seat, the tables, the individual covers. Those are things that are several $1,000 options that is going to allow you to get maybe that more luxury level boat that's got a little bit wear and tear, some hours on the engine. I think this one had 48 hours on the engine, and it can get you a little bit more well-appointed boat and keep you under that $50,000 mark. Now remember, go through and watch my used boat video, how to demo a used pontoon or TriToon the right way, how to inspect it the right way so that you don't buy somebody else's problem. But if you are looking to stay under that $50,000 mark and you want a little bit more luxury, a few more of the options, this is a great way to go. Just make sure that you're inspecting everything the right way. Thanks for watching that video. To grab your Boat Buyer's Toolkit, go to boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/toolkit. YouTube has recommended some videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're doing all sorts of new review videos where we're actually going to be boarding boats and walking through them in person. So check that out, subscribe, and make a comment, like the video, give it a thumbs up if you found this helpful.